Galaxy is just flavor Blue Eyes. Yo. Yo, help. Help. I'm falling and can't get up. Yo. He said it's just flavor. Help. All right, guys. New meta, new tier list, right? So where exactly do these decks rank on the respective tier lists? I genuinely think that Dino is a solid, and Master Duel, a solid tier 1 deck. I mean, good Dino players do exactly what good Dino players do. Look, you build the board, we break it. No hits to the Forbidden List for Dino. Misk is still at 3, allowing you to protect all of your Dino boards. This card is completely crazy. And with hits to some of the other decks, hopefully it slows them down just a little bit for Dino to be able to come back and ruin some of those games. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is still good at flipping monsters face down and wrecking entire boards. Sky Strikers. Sky Strikers didn't necessarily lose anything, but Sky Strikers are a solid tier 2 deck. You would think that 2 Engage in 1 Kagari would be amazing, but in actuality, after strenuous testing and months of testing, it's not it, dog. I think players, Sky Striker players, would 100% rather have the 1 Engage in triple Kagari, as your grind game literally gets ruined by this. But a great Sky Striker player can still make it to the top tables. By the way, I think that a great player playing almost any of these decks can 100% make it to the top table, guys. They can still do a lot of damage and make it to platinum tier. So Code Talker. Code Talker just might be one of the better decks in Master Duel that people don't notice about. It can give your opponent a Nightmare, Corrupt, or Ibli before its 5th summon, and as you know, a lot of players are playing Nibiru, so that would definitely cancel all of that. It can make a extra link, U-Link, and the best thing about it is that when your opponent has Nightmare, Corrupt, or Ibli, they can't get rid of the Ibli. So it's really, really crazy how this deck can prevent your opponent from special summoning. And there, ironically, in Master Duel, there's not a lot of great non-special summon decks. So this deck is actually extremely good. Adamantipator did get hit on the Forbidden List, but to be honest with you, the hits are still fairly laughable. You still have Union Carrier to be able to equip Block Dragon from your deck. You still have 8 Adamantipator monsters that can excavate. And then out of all the Adamantipator monsters, they hit the worst one? Nami? Like, they hit Roxy's? Granted, that was probably they hit Analyzer, I'm sorry. Out of all the Prank Kids, they hit the worst one. Yo, I just call Roxy's Adamantipator, but you guys know what I mean. Basically what I'm saying is that the deck did not really lose a step, even with the limitations on an Analyzer, and losing the Roxy's to semi-limited does make the deck slightly slower, but it's still a really amazing deck with other cards being able to make sense and be used in replacing those. Altergeist is 100% a rogue deck, guys. Altergeist is a solid rogue strategy. Unfortunately, unjustifiably, Altergeist Multi-Faker is still at 1. If there's anything that the Forbidden List should have done was give Altergeist the support that it needed, because Multi-Faker is a card that definitely does not need to be there. Regardless, a very skilled pilot playing Altergeist can 100% make it to Platinum, so there's that. There was a lot of hype behind Despia. Unfortunately, I think that Despia is a solid tier 2 deck. I don't think that it's really good enough to be tier 1. Despia and Queritus is still really good. And then being able to super polymerization any of your Despia monsters in your opponent's cards can be amazing. One thing that we're really hoping for with Despia is that since we all pretty much have confirmation that we're getting Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer, that we'll get cards like Branded and Red and Masquerade, and hopefully Guardian Chimera, because those are the cards that really make Despia shine. Even if we just get Guardian Chimera, this immediately goes from a tier 2 to a meta changer deck. Yo, go ahead and craft your Despia cards before they skyrocket in price, right? Blue Eyes, guys. We've finally seen a Blue Eyes player win a game, smacking one of our top visitors, or our top guests, our top, how do we call it? Our top chatters, our 2 strong gang, our top Shadow Realmers. I don't know what to call them, but he got smacked around with Blue Eyes. So Blue Eyes is like 1 in 50 on the channel. It's still a, oh no, what are you doing, baby? Whoa. I can't tell you this. Almost got clapped by Blue Eyes at Regionals. I was like this close. I almost got clapped by Blue Eyes at Regionals. It almost happened, guys. This deck is actually way better post Battle of Chaos. But the problem is, you got to wait till the cards post Battle of Chaos to make this deck really, really good. Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon is 100% a rogue strategy. No Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. No Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. Not just yet. And no branded fusion cards. Yeah, you're going to be relying on going second and OTKing your opponent. Other than that, Cyber Dragon is a really good deck. Very skilled pilots need to be able to play this deck. Maybe a trap-based version or just a going second OTK. Burning Abyss is super solid as a rogue strategy. One thing that I like about Burning Abyss is that it does have Beatrice the 3. But the problem with Master Duel is that Divine Arsenal AA Zeus is at 1. So that does suck. Like, genuinely does. I think if Divine Arsenal AA Zeus was at 2 or 3, it'd easily be maybe, actually, you could probably say it's a solid tier 2 deck. Reason why, Fairy Tail Snow is still an amazing Yu-Gi-Oh card, being able to banish the summon. You can go to Earth route and play a block dragon deck, Earth Burning Abyss, which is still really, really powerful, being able to use the effect of Orbital Hydrolander to banish. And again, Beatrice is at 3 in here, so use 2 Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, and you can have some really good plays. I think it's a solid tier 2 deck. I don't think that there's anything necessarily prohibiting it, other than Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. Dark Magician. Oh no, what are you doing, baby? Look, guys, I don't mean to like, you know, shit on your favorite archetype, guys. I seriously don't. But Dark Magician is not it, dog. I'm sorry. Wait till Battle of Chaos, guys. Wait till Battle of Chaos, all right? You'll be better Battle of Chaos. It gets better. But if you are getting into Master Duel and you want to build these decks as your first deck, refrain from doing that. If you plan on winning, you know, build a more competitive deck first, and then you can build this deck for fun. There's nothing wrong with playing these decks for fun, you know? Especially in the lower tiers, you can 100% play these decks and have a ton of fun. But if you're trying to win games and get to the higher tiers, these are not it still. The DD deck. Oh, man. I'm going to put it in, oh no, what are you doing, baby? The reason why DD Dynamite, the OTK, was a thing is because there are a lot of players that are really new and inexperienced, and this card literally wins against them. Against inexperienced players, this deck is incredibly insane. Against an experienced player with hand traps, not happening. You're getting clapped. One thing I also want to mention is that it's in the oh no, what are you doing, baby? Because you should not be playing this deck. I do not condone. I do not endorse it. It's funny how Konami has like cards like Mystic Mind Band, but they allow like Rongo and True King of All Calamities and this to exist. So, like, figure it out. Dragon Mage Shu. Dragon Mage. Dragon Mage are another solid, very, very solid tier 2 deck. In the way that Master Duel works, is that Maxi, you should already know, is a really powerful card. Nibiru is a pretty powerful card. And those are pretty much the best hand traps being played in Yu-Gi-Oh! With that being said, Dragon Maid kind of skirts both Nibiru and Maxi fairly well and plays a really good grind deck. And in a combo format where your opponent's either forced to give you a whole bunch of resources to out their board or past their turn, Dragon Maids can actually get a lot of recovery to be able to play. Eldritch, guys, meta changer? Yo, even with Conquistador, no. So the problem with Eldritch is that it was already slipping before the hit. Eldritch was already not a great Yu-Gi-Oh strategy before, because players started to figure out like, yo, those are some cool back row, but that's all you got. Back row and floodgates. So once you went second, and once you couldn't establish your board, or once you get your board broken, Eldritch genuinely suffers. Like, it's really crazy, especially Conquistador, your best Eldritch trap card other than Sanguine, because it gets you your Golden Lord. It's really bad, but you can still play Floodgates. You can still use Eldritch to Golden Lord to bounce a summon. And if you do get a supplementary engine with Eldritch to Golden Lord, you can still be able to play this deck quite effectively. Tamias actually disagrees. He says slightly worse grind game, Slightly slower, but that's about it. But that's the problem. It was already not great. And now it's gotten worse grind game and worse slower with the deck that's supposed to be, its strengths is a grind game. And its strengths is supposed to be getting to your cards as fast as possible. That's why I think Eldritch is suffering right now. Shadow's, guys. Yo. Slide in that top spot. If there was ever a strategy that did not get hit whatsoever by the Forbidden List and only got rewarded, 100% Shadow's. Easily. In a combo format where there are not a lot of control decks, just summon El Shaddoll Winda. That's it. It's that simple, guys. Just summon El Shaddoll Winda and you pretty much are free. If you are playing an Invoke Shaddoll, then, I mean, just summon Mechaba and then follow with El Shaddoll Winda. Shadolls are projected to dominate the format with El Shaddoll Winda. Fluffles, guys. Fluffles are a solid tier 2 deck. Takes a really good player to play. It is amazing going second and OTKing your opponent. It is crazy how this deck can roll with the correct player. It can also make some really incredible boards. Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, totally awesome. Bahamut Shark. And Master Duel is really all about combos. It's about special summoning and making these hard to beat boards, because now a lot of times that's how you're going to win if your opponent didn't open the correct hand traps. Galaxy Eyes, guys. Oh no, what are you doing, baby? Yo, we have a Galaxy player in the Super Secret Shadow round. We do have a Galaxy player. He's always wanting to show his Galaxy duels. Shout out to you, big dog. You know what I mean? Shout out to you. Like, seriously, shout out to you. The deck's not good, though. The problem with Galaxy is that it requires way too many resources to make a suboptimal board that can easily be broken inside of this metagame. And once your board gets broken, you lose. Like, there's nothing else you can do. If you are going to play an anime deck, Cyber Dragon so far, or Cold Talkers are actually the best, but Cyber Dragon so far, for you old school guys, is the best one. Pendulum is still tier 2. It's funny how Heavy Metal Foes Electromite doesn't do much for this deck. Pendulum's biggest problem is that you can't play hand traps. So you kind of hope to go first and hope to play through all your opponent's hand traps, or you go second and you play through your opponent's board. Another big problem with Pendulum is that there's this old archaic logic with a lot of Pendulum players. Galaxy is just flavor blue eyes, yo. Yo, help! Help! I'm falling and can't get up. Yo! He said it's just flavor. Help! Help! Someone! I'm drunk! Oh! Yo! I'm done. I'm done. Oh, I'm so done. I can't with you guys. I can't. Go home. What was I talking about? I was talking about Pendulum. Like, yo, you got to go first, right? And you got to establish like this ultimate negation board. But the problem is other combo decks just do your job better and they can play hand traps. You don't need these like ultra 6-card hands to do it. It is Pendulum's just in a really, really unfortunate spot. We're not in 2017 anymore where you're the only deck that can make 5 negations. Every deck can make 5 negations. It's like, you don't care anymore. Earth Machine. I'm gonna put Earth Machine at Rogue. The biggest problem with Earth Machine is Max C. Like, you do all this stuff just to draw 2 cards and your opponent activates Max C and they out advantage you. It takes a good Earth Machine player. I think Machina is just way better than Earth Machine in Master Duel, just because you don't have to deal with Maxi, you know, the Maxi shenanigans, and it kind of does the same thing. I do love that it can summon the big train and go for game. Super Juggernaut, Rail Cannon, Gustav, not the wrong card, but Super Juggernaut, Labe, Juggernaut, whatever it is. And that a lot of times can literally outright win you the game in a Link format. Madolche, solid tier 2 deck, really good at going second and OTKing your opponent. Going first, I haven't really seen a lot of going first good Madolche builds. If there was one, it would probably be like activate a Floodgate and protect it with Madolche Promenade, because that's exactly, that's a winning strategy. Heroes, 100% Rogue. Just like in real life Yu-Gi-Oh!, Heroes are way too expensive and don't give you the benefit. Like they're expensive as like building a hero deck in Master Duel is equivalent to like building 2 of Shaddoll decks, like Shaddoll Invoke decks. And you don't get better results. You're not getting double the results. A going second hero build that incorporates like Forbidden Droplets and Lightning Storms to break your opponent's board and just straight go for the OTK is probably your best bet. Because cards like Maxi really suck in this deck. You don't want to activate Maxi and then draw cards you don't want to see. Nobody wants to draw Vision Hero increase off of Maxi and stuff like that because this deck has a lot of those. So yeah, going second, OTK your opponent. You spent way too much money, but it is the best anime deck. It is the best anime deck, not Code Talker. Drytron, guys. Where would I put Drytron post the Forbidden list? Nothing's changed. Ben 10 to 1. Some of you guys have not played the TCG, but in the TCG, Ben 10 went 1 and everybody laughed because that wasn't the problem. The problem is Eva. The problem is Eva. Read my lips. Eva. That is the problem with this particular deck. Ban Eva. It's a totally different ball game for Drytron. But until then, it's still going to abuse Herald of Ultimateness. It's not going to stop that, okay? It's still going to search any fairy that it wants. And it might just incorporate the Megalith engine even more to be able to recur the Benton that it needs to keep going. So it's like crazy. I think a going first Dark Law variant will be ideal with dealing with Drytron, Virtual World, and Shaddoll. Well, a good thing is that a going first Shaddoll deck deals with all 3 of those fairly consistently and has great going second capabilities. Dark Law it's an okay card. It's an okay card. It's not a bad card. It's an okay card. It's an okay card. It's just not as good as back then when Dark Law came out. Going first and summoning a Dark Law was like killing your opponent. But now, not really. Like, you know, I'll banish a couple cards. That's fine. I'll get over your board. Orcus, I almost want to put it down here because literally you can activate any hand trap. This is actually where Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood is actually great. Like, you win the game if you do that against this deck. So it's crazy. Paleo, Rogue Strategy, not really good. Totally Awesome's at 1. You're gonna have to use Totally Awesome to recur Totally Awesome. You know what I mean? So it's still a good trap deck. You know, experienced player needs to play it. Prank Kids, hands down, still the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it didn't lose anything. It literally didn't lose anything. TCG players have proven time after time again that numbers always mean everything. If you play 3 Dropsies, 3 Flamesies or Lampsies, 3 Fansies, that's 9, and 3 of your field spell in a Terraforming, that's 13 out of 40. I think you have over an 80% chance of drawing one, something like that. It's like it doesn't matter. So you never needed Roxy's in the first place. The semi-limit to Roxy's was not a hit to Prank Kids. This is easily one of the best decks in Master Duel. It's just ridiculous how this deck still is here. Rocket Dragon Link, solid tier 1 deck, guys. Very, very solid tier 1 deck. Very good at combos. This actually requires a big brain, but unlike some of the other decks that require big brains, this actually has the payoff. It can play through a lot of hand traps. As long as the hand trap doesn't destroy, then you can pretty much do it. And Nibiru, as long as you summon Seal and play your line correctly, you can still be able to play. Solomon Great, solid rogue deck, guys. Solid rogue deck. I want to say that Solomon Great is the best deck ever in Yu-Gi-Oh, but unfortunate. Solid rogue deck. You gotta know what you're doing. And I almost forgot what this deck's name was. Speedberate, another solid rogue deck. Just solid rogue, you know what I mean? Double Crystal Wing, pretty good. With Solomon Great being able to get Rage and Roar, pretty good. Making Access Code Talker and giving it the ability to attack twice, pretty good. You know, pretty good. Phantom Knights. Where does Phantom Knights go with losing a Torn Scales? I mean, Torn Scales to 2 stops Rongo from being summoned? It doesn't? Huh. Wait, it doesn't? So like, it still turbos out Rongo. I don't understand. It's still, you have to respect this deck because it summons one of the cards that should not exist in the game. The card that should have been banned. And until that gets banned, then what are we doing here? It's still a meta changer Yu-Gi-Oh strategy. You guys can hate me all you want. This deck's not good. Unfortunately, Thunder Dragon Colossus doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. It doesn't. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You guys, some of y'all hate me. But look, if it makes you feel better, like almost every single one of my favorite decks are rogue. So it's not like I'm just saying that just to, you know, get at y'all. But it's not. The problem with Thunder Dragon is Colossus is at 1, right? But you lose Thunder Dragon Hawk, right? You lose so much of your important pieces. The thing is, you kind of incorporate this in like other strategies and hope you can just summon Colossus at the end, which isn't that good. Where does Tri-Brigade go after losing? This is still one of the best decks. Like, this has not changed. Well, this got infinitesimally better. Like, it just got better. But this has not changed. Tri-Brigade Fractal to 2 is laughable. You still have 3 Tenkies. You still have 3 Tenkies, and you had 6 Fractals. Now you got 5. Doesn't mean anything. Whew. True Dracos wrote, I wanted this deck to be so much better. I wanted this to be so much better. I really did. And you would think in a format where there's a lot of special summoning and a lot of maxis and stuff like that, it would, but it just gets blown out the water by too many strategies. Unchained, another rogue deck. Very, very rogue. You got to know what you're doing with Unchained. I do like that Dimensional Shifter does shut out, like, shuts off. Hurts a decent, actually shuts off. Shuts off. Nope, yep, shuts off. Like Dimensional Shifter literally ruins everything. Like, and that's what makes this deck good, but that's pretty much it. Utopia, oh no, what are you doing? Do not play this deck, guys. It's better than Dark Magician and Blue Eyes. Kinda, not really, you know what I mean? Virtual World, it still makes True King of all calamities. Like, it still does the True King. Losing Lao Lao to 2, it doesn't mean anything. That means you see it 11% less in your opening hand. That doesn't mean anything. Zombie World, solid rogue deck. This is actually, I think Zombie World Eldritch might be a thing. And Zombie World Eldritch together might bump up into this tier 2, tier 1 status, because Zombie World Eldritch does counter Tri-Brigade. You can main Super Poly, so you can out some of these boards. It could work. It can work. These two together could work, but I'm not 100% sure. That deck's still tier 1. Like, nothing changed for this deck. Like, I don't know where we expected it to go. It didn't lose anything from the list. It still has Zodiac, Dried It. It still has Divine Arsenal Double Zeus at 1. It's still a solid deck. Mixing it with your tri-cards is good, but also playing it as pure is still a winning strategy. And lastly is Lyrilusk. Lyrilusk with the Tri-Brigade strategy is still tier 1. Nothing changed. Cobalt Sparrow to 2 is laughable. Like, actually hit a problematic card. Like, the problem is that Konami spent so much time trying to save money by forcing you to buy packs that they forgot that you actually need to make genuine hits to change the meta. Shit all kind of skyrockets up because it just got better because other decks got worse. And even if the worse isn't that much worse, we know that we're getting Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. So can play, well, I'm sorry. Well, actually, it can play Phoenix Enforcer, but you know, can play Phoenix Enforcer, can play Phoenix Enforcer, can play Phoenix Enforcer, can play Phoenix Enforcer. The best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just got better. Like, what are we doing here? Genuinely, what are we doing here? Nothing, not a lot has changed. And unless we get some genuine other cards or something like that, or a good ban list, nothing's gonna change.